Hello and welcome back to Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. How are you doing, Maddie? We have had a week.
I'm doing good. I felt really good about this new setup I have. We have a little bit of
Yes.
white from the wall, and I look less of like I'm in a black tunnel. But I am just getting the hang of it with my new microphone stand, so I'm not like this the whole time.
Yeah.
It's nice having my hands now.
So look on YouTube and you guys can see our setups
Oh
because
yeah, if you're lame.
we're slowly upgrading to like different
Yes.
little things, and it
Uh,
feels so much nicer to not have to like hold something or like worry about like where it is because we like to talk with our
yes.
hands. So like go watch us on
Yes.
YouTube if you want to see us talk with our hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're lame and only listening to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, wherever,
Loser.
come come to YouTube where it's
It's really
fun.
fun. We're fun on YouTube and you can like pretend that you're in a room with us. Like, do you have
Yes.
parasocial relationships with like people that you watch, like podcasts or
Parasocial. I've never heard that word
you've never
before.
heard that? Okay.
No.
So it basically is like a parasocial relationship is like you don't know this person at all, but you like watch them so much, or like they're on your favorite reality TV show, you watch
Mhm.
their YouTube, whatever, and you're like, I feel like I know them. Like my friend texted me the other day, and we both watched this podcast called H3. And
Mhm.
she's like, oh my God, I'm so far behind. But like, is Ethan okay? Like, he really looks sick. Like, is he okay? And she's like, I'm concerned. And she's like, what in the parasocial relationship is going on here? Like, why am I concerned about this person? I have no idea who it is. And I'm like, no, but I feel that. Like, there are some people that like you consume so much of their content. You're like, if you see like, oh, they're sick or something bad happening, you're like, oh my God, like, I hope they're okay. Like, my friend.
Yeah, no, I
Do you
feel
feel
like that.
that?
Who do I have that with? I had it with one podcast, and then some stuff came out about them, and I stopped
Yes.
listening. I
Voldemort.
don't want. I don't even. What?
I said Voldemort.
Yeah, literally. I'm not even gonna name them. And it was sad because I really liked them, but I just don't support stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, Nick Vial,
So you're
maybe.
going through a bit of a breakup, one
I
might say.
am. I might be going through two breakups.
No.
One
Oh, are
with
you
my
okay?
husband. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just kidding. No, like I love the Vial Files. However, I think I sent you the TikToks. I went down a slight rabbit hole about talking about him and his fiance and mother of his daughter, yeah. I went through a slight wormhole of their age difference, and I was like, I don't know if that like sits well with me. Just
What's the
how
age difference?
like big. She slid into his DMs when she was 18 or 19 and he
Okay.
was 34 maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
little it's a
It's
little
icky.
a
It's
little
icky.
icky. Yeah.
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 Like
So
it's all legal, but like there
so
is a power dynamic. Well, I mean, like, because like if like she's 16, that would be way, way, way worse. So I
yeah.
mean, legality wise, but there's such a power dynamic where it's like
Mhm.
that's a problem. And also like grow up. Grow up. What 34-year-old needs to be going after an 18-year-old?
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but I was like,
Ooh.
oh no, like this has put a bad taste in my mouth about them. So I don't know. I will continue to listen and see if my view changes over time. But that's really it. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else like, mm, I don't really think so. I try not to get super wrapped up in stuff like that because then it's just like takes a part of your like brain cells. And I'm like, why am I spending like brain energy thinking about these people who don't even know I'm breathing?
Me. Like literally, I can't help it. I'm like it is so crazy. Like, did you grow up watching YouTube?
No, I
Okay, so
grew up watching SpongeBob.
maybe that's where the difference lies in because like me and my friends and my sister, like we would watch different like Bethany Moto, don't even know where she is on this earth, or like I can't even think like Andrea Russett, I think was another girl. Maybe it's not, and I'm totally like forgetting these people, but like we
Mhm.
watched people's like get ready with me's, holiday favorites, vlogs. And so
Yeah.
I feel like in my like mid 20s, I'm having like, I mean, post COVID or in COVID, I was having like a YouTube renaissance moment, and I was going back down like the rabbit hole of like
Uh-huh.
being on YouTube and watching everything. And I don't know, I feel like maybe you're either like a YouTube parasocial girly or like you just don't care about it.
Yeah, I don't, you know what I do get into? I end up getting into when there are big scandals
Oh,
with
of course.
YouTubers.
Of
I
course.
I live for the scandals. I know nothing about you, but I will learn about what you did wrong.
Oh my God. Okay, we are like a match made in heaven because like we love the drama that is not involving us.
What is going on with my lighting right now? Did
There
you
it
see
goes.
that?
I did see that.
I turned like angelic.
I don't know. I was ignoring it because I feel like sometimes,
Ow, shit. Wait, my hair got caught in my microphone. Ah, hold on.
oh my God.
We're going through a difficulty here. Ow, ow, ow. Don't rip. How did this happen? Okay, hold on a second. Ah, ah, one more. Oh, there we go. That was painful.
Oh my God. I'm just dead.
Uh.
Like this is just a stream of consciousness for us. Um, but like speaking of kind of like parasocial relationships and just like
Mhm.
watching people so intently online. I don't know if you saw do you follow Stassi Schroeder from Vanderpump?
Do I follow her? No. Am I aware of her? Yes.
Right. So on Instagram, she just had her second baby like maybe a
Hmm.
couple months ago, whatever.
Hmm.
And she's been doing these like type of workouts where like you wear like this kind of like insane suit and like
They were literally doing that in like season, I don't know, 4 or 5 of
right. Yeah,
Vanderpump.
yeah, yeah. I was trying to remember, did they do it on the show? And
Yes.
it looks the same, maybe like a little bit more intense or whatever. And she like posted like a picture of her flexing after, and she's like two, what was it? Maybe like 2 months, like blah blah blah, and like really boasting about this type of exercise she's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really like important to talk about timelines of like results because there are so many like celebrities or like personalities, people you see online, and they have a baby and you feel like, holy fuck, like how did they bounce back? Because I hate that language, but like you
Hmm.
feel like you're like, what the fuck? How'd they make those changes so quickly? Or damn, like they're looking really good and they're only doing like Pilates or whatever. Like, what is the
Yeah.
secret? And oftentimes I feel like one, like maybe there's some other work being done, which like
Hmm.
go
Hmm.
girl, do whatever you're gonna do, like whatever makes you happy. But I think it's
Hmm.
also just like important, like as a viewer, if you're looking on to like different reality shows or whatnot, to understand the timeline of like results.
Hmm.
Because if you're getting crazy results overnight, it's too good to be true. Like they're not lasting.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, when did we talk about this before? Did I talk about this with someone else? I can't remember. You know how my brain is. It's all the same. Um, when it comes to like when we see, oh, I was talking about this one. I don't know who. When we see like celebrities like getting results faster, like we have to keep in mind they live a totally different life. They
Mm,
could have a chef. They could have someone that cleans their house. They get someone does their grocery shopping. They could literally have all of these people they're paying for to do the stuff that takes us normal folk time to do. So they have time to do other things. So
yeah.
their trajectory to see results is a lot quicker because they can outsource so much help. And that's the luxury, obviously, of having money and being in their position. So like already we're basing our, like they're getting results faster. Well, because they don't do half the stuff that we do every day. And that takes us time. So keeping that in mind is like, I think, numero uno when it comes to like comparing yourself to someone who lives a completely different life. Don't, right? Because they're going to get results faster.
Mm,
Um, and then also like the method, right? Like just picking on Stassi here, like people are going to think, oh, I can't get results because I don't have access to that thing.
right.
The thing's probably expensive and she probably isn't paying anything because she probably got paid to post about it. So she probably made money doing that workout, to
Right.
be
Yeah.
honest.
Cause every time she does it, she posts about it, which, like, guys, if it's not like obvious, like pay attention to that shit. Like if
Yeah.
somebody's
Yeah.
like posting about it constantly and they're using it, and like they could be loving it, but they're also probably like getting their bag.
Like we talked about this with Alex Earl. She got paid by Peloton. That when I
Oh
travel, I do
yeah.
this. And I'm like, but consider the source. When do you ever see her working out? Now, granted, I don't like follow her every little move, but like I've never seen content of her working out. I've just seen content
Right.
of her showing like her dress from last New Year's Eve that had vomit on it. You know what I mean? Like totally different.
Girl,
Like she's not doing Peloton workouts every day.
that was
No.
nasty. That was fucking nasty. I was reading the comments. People were like, she moved with that dress.
I
I
saw
was like,
something, some girl stitched it and she goes, I hate to say it, but I
I
think
saw
she
that.
stinks.
I saw that. I saw that. But it's like, yeah, consider the source and like no hate, but like live your life, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
When you put yourself on the internet, you subject yourself to commentary.
correct. Correct.
But like I'm not gonna take my health and fitness advice from somebody that never is posting health and fitness content other than an
Yeah,
ad. And you have to
yeah,
disclose when you have an ad. So like duh,
yeah.
we can all see what's happening here.
Yes, 100 million%. So I think when you're basing it off of celebrities in general, just know their timeline is going to be quicker because of what they have available to them. And then, of
Mhm.
course, you can see results with what you're doing without having their exact thing that they're promoting because they're probably getting paid to promote it anyway.
Right. And I guess I've never worded it the way that you did, but people that have like more disposable income, they do not they do not have the same 24 hours as like we do, right? Because if you don't have to do the laundry, put it away, clean the house, cook your dinner, go grocery shopping, right? Like that all takes time out of your week. And so if somebody else can
Hmm.
do that, like fantastic for you. Wish I could
Hmm.
have somebody do all of my shit. But
That's the
like
goal.
right, right. But like realistically, that takes multiple hours out of
Hmm.
the day, perhaps week, like whatever you're getting
Hmm.
done. And that is time that you could go to the gym, go for a
Hmm.
walk, or somebody's making you healthy meals, like meals that, we got the protein, the veg, like they are good stuff. That all makes it so much easier and takes away
Yep.
so many obstacles, which a lot of people, that's time is a factor, but it's also just like the obstacle of maybe I don't know what to cook or healthy food tastes boring. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to get started. Like there are so many things that kind of are in the way before you can even kind of start seeing results. Like there's so many obstacles that you have to
Yeah.
overcome before it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I've been doing this for 2 weeks and I'm not seeing results. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. So that's why we're just saying don't base your results off of those people specifically.
Mm.
Um, but something I thought was really a good example to talk about, Kelsey, who she's actually going to be on the podcast later this month. What date do we know?
I believe I'm not going to say a date because I'm not sure, but it will be it
Okay.
will be later
Well,
this month.
it's a really great interview talk. We talk about all kinds of stuff. She's awesome. But she is my coach and she is Allie's coach too. And it's funny because it's very different things we get coached on. But anyway, I've had the same issues with my core and my low back and my hip. And I was talking to her about it, like it feels like I am making like no progress at all with that. And, she made like such a great comparison when it comes to building muscle and mind muscle connection in
Mm.
different areas of your body where you struggle with. It's like you're building a highway there, like from scratch and like teaching your body how to use that. AKA, long story short, it's going to take time. It's going to take time to do that. And I can't just sit here and be like, oh, it's not happening. I've been working on it for a week, right? It's going to
Mhm.
take time, no matter what you're doing, to build new, habits, new, like a neural pathway that I do this every morning, whether it's drink water, take your medicine, go for a
Mhm.
walk. And I think we just, like I made a post like 5 million years ago, like your body's not Amazon Prime. Like you're
Yeah.
not going to get the results you want like tomorrow, overnight shipping. It will take time and just setting yourself up because I know probably a lot of you have New Year's goals and resolutions. and it's the first week of January, and you're like, how soon am I going to see results? It's going to take time, no matter what it is, no matter
Yeah.
what.
It is really a hard pill to swallow too, I think, because you might have the mindset of, oh, I've been like pretty unhealthy, haven't been working out, been maybe drinking a lot. So let me hit the ground running and like let me see some results to keep me going. But the truth is, like in the first week, you're probably not going to see any changes, right? Like you're gonna,
Mhm,
in fact, probably feel more resistance than ever because you're like, I
mhm,
am not seeing any change in a week. And
mhm,
this is hard. Like building new habits is hard. This shit is not easy. Like if it were easy, every single person would be in their place of health. Like they would be
mhm,
at that place because if it was easy, okay, well then it would be done. But just because it's not easy doesn't mean that you can't make it simple for yourself. Um,
mhm,
and I think simple starts with like having realistic expectations and
mhm,
a a manageable timeline. I
mhm,
personally, when I'm coaching clients, don't like to have a timeline,
mhm,
but I know for some people it does help to have a concrete idea. I mean, give yourself like 6 months. Start there and see
mhm,
what you can accomplish in 6 months. And that sounds like a long time, but I mean, it really is not. Like time's going to keep passing anyway, so you might as well try and develop new habits and eat some more
mhm,
protein and go to the gym
mhm,
and fucking sleep and work
mhm,
on the little things. Um, and I mean, if you look at yourself from, if you take a picture of yourself today and you take a picture of yourself 6 months down the line, it's gonna change
mhm,
in some way, right? Like you're either gonna
mhm,
get closer towards your goal or you're gonna get farther from your goal or
mhm.
maybe stay the same. We'll give three options, right? But the staying the same or getting farther away from your goal is only going to happen when you don't do like the little habits every day.
Mhm. No, I
Yeah.
agree with that. What was I gonna say? I had it tip of my tongue. Oh, one thing that I think is super helpful when you're looking at, like, I don't think we've talked about, maybe we have, who knows, tracking different metrics, because
I
a
don't think
lot
we
of you,
have.
okay, this will definitely keep it in perspective of, am I making progress? Am I not?
Mm,
Tracking a couple things. One, of course, someone probably wants to lose weight that's listening. Sure, you can track your weight a few times a week. You don't need to do it every day. Body measurements, chest, hips, stomach, those are great areas to track. Um, Pictures are great to track. Those are great. Your energy, how many steps you're getting throughout the day, how much water you're drinking. You don't have to track all those, but you can pick, like, I'd pick at least two so you can see
mm,
what's happening. But that for me helps not only my clients like see progress over time if we're in a diet phase and they're like, nothing's changing. And you're like, well, you lost 2 inches on your hips, right? That's always
yeah.
helpful to see. But then also like for myself too. Like right now, like what I'm doing with my autoimmune stuff isn't like super easy to see if there's a difference in things, but I can look
Yeah.
at blood work. And then with Kelsey, we look at like, okay, where's the pain? Am I
Mm.
experiencing pain here? How much pain? How frequently? Things like that. So having some type of metric to follow so you don't go at the end of the month like nothing changed, right? You need to see
Right.
something or else you're going to get frustrated then give up.
100%. And we were talking about this before recording, like the night before, talking about needing to see things like laid out,
Oh, yes, I
right?
am that person.
I'm also that person. I can think a lot in the head, but if it comes to tracking some sort of data point, whether you want to, work on a budget, like you got plans to buy a house or a wedding, go on a big vacation, whatever it is, you pay off your student loans, it would be helpful to start by tracking a budget
Mhm,
and seeing how much you
mhm,
need to pay each month and how much you're making and
mhm,
all that sort of stuff. And so we do that for our business. If we didn't do that for our business, we'd be like, oh, what the fuck's happening? Why am I not making any progress? Why am I,
mhm,
you know, not saving any money? So same goes for
mhm,
your health and your fitness. Just like make
mhm,
it simple. Even open up like your notes app in your phone. If you want to be like so bare bones about it, do that. Take some notes in your phone. How are you feeling?
mhm.
Check in with yourself once a week. Take 5 minutes, set an alarm on your phone, and just be like, all
Yeah,
right, how am I feeling?
Put it on your calendar, a little
Yeah.
task.
Make a
That's what
little
I would
date with
do.
yourself.
Yeah, it's gonna make it so much easier to continue moving forward because you're gonna
Mhm.
see, oh wow, my energy feels better. I got more steps in last week. That is motivating. And if you know how many times I talk about motivation, right? We don't rely on it, but it's
Mm,
okay to use it to keep you going. And little spurts here and there are good, but having those things deep down, why am I doing this? X, Y, and
yeah.
Z. Why does this really matter to me? That will keep you going. But if you need little spurts here and there, I'm not gonna lie, it's motivating to see change and keep
Oh,
going
hell
because you're
yeah.
like, I see change. So having that is helpful.
Right. And I hate the idea, and I probably years ago, like in college when I like was very, very extreme, I probably said like, oh, motivation is like stupid. But like that alley was like, she was really strict and that was a little intense. But like I'm all for fucking the motivation of like seeing like if you're having a bad day and you're like, am I making progress? I don't feel like this is working. I'm having like maybe a bad body image day. I
Hmm.
like to go and look at my progress pictures and I'm like, you know what? I see the change. Things are working. Just because today is maybe not feeling like my best day, that's
Hmm.
okay. Like I am allowed to have those days that don't feel the best, but it doesn't mean I'm going to give up. It doesn't mean I'm going to go into like fuck it mode, but I might
Hmm.
use my progress as a little motivation to get me over the hump, to
Hmm.
get that workout in, to be like, this workout is, it's not going to make or break my progress, but it's a habit. And I'm just going
Hmm.
to do it because I know it makes me feel good. I'm going to wake
Hmm.
up tomorrow and I'm probably going to feel differently about my body. And I'm going to be proud of myself that I pushed through using
Hmm.
myself as my own motivation. Like, what
Yeah.
what's like more awesome than like getting inspired by like your own journey? Like, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's way less toxic than like me having a
Yeah.
picture behind me of like some supermodel who I will never look like as my motivation,
Oh,
right?
girl, 17 magazine killed
I
that
know.
part of my brain. It was like rip out the exercise panel, put it on the wall, and there would be like a little, like a cute little like model, like in her like yoga pants or whatever. And I'd be like, that is what we're going for.
If we took a brain scan of your brain, there would be like a black hole and it'd be like 17
Oh,
magazine.
yeah, no, she died off. She is like is a fighting for life. And like occasionally I'll get hit with like a flashback and I'm like, oh God, it's traumatic. But like I think we have such unrealistic expectations, like a lot of women, because you see in the magazines at the grocery store. I know you posted on your story, like you're
Oh
waiting in
yeah.
line and you're
Oh,
bombarded.
yep. Which I
Yeah,
was sorry, I was gonna say we should put a picture up. I'll
yeah,
remind
we will.
myself.
I talk about the cover, like, because I don't remember what it said, but I remember seeing it and I was like, yeah, I have been standing in line at the grocery store and seeing those things, and I literally get like fucking annoyed because like I know better, but some people that
Do
are
not.
really wanting to lose weight and feel better and like have more energy, they're gonna see this bullshit title and they're like, you know what? I've tried everything. Let me try it.
Oh, there it's so bad. So let's start at the top. Bye bye
Perfect.
double chin.
Oh,
Bye bye double chin. Wacky ginger tips works wonders in minutes. I'm
what?
sorry guys, but you're not losing a double chin in minutes.
You're
Okay.
not?
No.
Oh, shoot.
The next one, just in time. The holiday coffee drink proven to instantly triple metabolism, so you can drop 11 pounds this week. I know. That's
Moment
bad.
of silence for all of the people that have tried that and did not lose 11 pounds in the week.
Oh God. I think that was, yeah, that was the brunt of it. But
And
yeah,
not
we'll put a
only
picture
like
up.
is that, yeah, we'll put that picture up, send that to me. Not only is that just like such a false claim, but from a like health standpoint, if you lost 11 pounds in 1 week,
So
that
bad.
is not a win. That would actually be majorly concerning. And
Mm-hmm.
I would question, well, how did it happen? What did you do to get to this? And this is
Mm-hmm.
not something we can keep up because that is a
Mm-hmm.
huge, huge weight difference. Like I think sometimes people underestimate what weight looks like when it comes off. Like people might be like, oh, I need to lose
Mhm.
like 20 pounds. And like they lose maybe 5 pounds and they start building muscle and their body looks completely different. Like more
Mhm.
is not better always.
I mean, how there's so many things I want to talk about right now, but how many times have you worked with a client? I remember this happening, and
Mm,
she said she wanted to lose, I think like maybe, I don't know, 10 pounds or something, and she really
okay.
didn't have 10 pounds to lose. And we didn't lose anything.
Mm.
All we did was we slowly increased her food. And she was like, "Oh, I don't think I need to lose weight," because she built so much muscle and also lost fat at the same time. So her body
Mm-hmm.
composition improved. The scale didn't change. She looked completely different. And she's
Right.
like, I don't think I need a diet phase anymore." I'm like, "You don't."
Yeah,
And
like
you're eating more
literally.
food. Yeah, and
Ah, I love that.
it's such a cool feeling because you accomplish their goal. They feel better in their body. We don't have to go into a diet phase, which guys, I mean, like loudspeaker here, diet phases are tough on your body. They
Mm,
impact your thyroid, they impact your it impact everything. So it's not just like, let's go on the diet phase willy-nilly. It's going to impact your body to some level. So if we can avoid going into a diet phase, like win-win, win-win.
mm-hmm. And that's also why we want to like prep your body, right? Like not
Yes,
only are we
yes.
talking about like realistic expectations, but it's the new year. You might have just had like a doozy of a holiday. Like I feel like Thanksgiving and then like the Christmas holiday season has
Hmm.
come so quickly
Hmm.
that if you didn't have the right tools to utilize, I'm sure it feels really overwhelming and just like you're
Hmm.
exhausted. So
Hmm.
even if you want to lose weight right now, the
Hmm.
best thing that you can do is kind of assess where you are and like start with the basics. Like, am I drinking water first? Like, am I having at least 100 ounces of water? Like, get a bit. You got your Stanley cup. Fill it up like 3 times a day. If you're not doing that, focus on that. Am I getting in protein and a veggie on my plate? If you're not doing that, you're not ready to diet. So, like,
No.
kind of take a moment and assess yourself. Like, where am I? What am I doing? And if I am not doing the basics, getting my steps in, working out 2 to 3 times a week at least, we are not going to be in the best place to start a diet. And like Maddie said,
Mm-mm.
we don't always need a diet. Our bodies don't always need to reduce the calories. Sometimes we need to lift some weights. Sometimes we need to just eat more protein.
I'd say
Sometimes,
always lift weights.
always lift weights. But as far as like the dieting aspect, like with
Yeah.
that client of yours, didn't necessarily need to drop the calories. Instead, it was like, let's
Mhm.
increase the calories. Let's add the weights in. And her perspective changed to be like, oh, I didn't actually need to drop the calories. What I needed was to lift the weights, to get in the
Mhm.
protein, like doing
Mhm.
other habits. So just kind of
Mhm.
taking a little check in with yourself. If
Mhm.
you've been treating your body like a garbage can, and it's okay, this is not a shameful thing. But if you have been maybe, enjoying yourself a lot, maybe more alcohol, more sweets, it's the holidays, it's a fucking rough time, maybe you're stressed out, just take a little survey. Have I been doing like the basics for myself? And start there. And then you can kind of go on to create a manageable like timeline for your goals once you've done the basics, once you're like caring for yourself. It's like the best thing that you can do. And the worst thing sometimes can be jumping into a dieting phase when you're stressed the fuck out.
Stress kills all things, literally all things. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that idea of like your like habit hygiene report card.
Ooh, I
If
like that. Did you just
I
come up with
know
that?
that verbiage,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, I
Hygiene, ha
love it. Habit
habit
hygiene.
hygiene report card. Habit
I
hygiene,
like
yeah.
that.
Maybe I'll make something out of
I like
that.
it.
I know. Um, But like Ali said, sleep, water, steps, stress, just eating vegetables, right? Those are like very basic things that you can
Mhm.
focus on. And if it's like not coming out to like a B plus, like don't even bother trying to diet because it is so much easier. Like, wouldn't you rather first have all of your habits in place. You're getting steps in, sunlight, you're not super stressed out, you're drinking water so easily. And then when you go to diet, it's easy, right?
Mhm.
Compared to, I got to change all these things at once, right? That's so much more work. And wouldn't you rather just work on the basics, nail those down, and then probably see your weight change because you're doing like the basics to do it? It's so
Yeah.
much easier once you're fully prepared. Great example of this is I have a client who is just struggling a bit kind of with her habits and was on had to get put on a steroid, and she's like, I just feel like so um bloated in my stomach because of the steroid she's on.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see if a caloric deficit would be help, what if we could see some change. And
Yeah.
I felt like, kind of have to talk someone off the ledge here because, we have so many things happening. If we're not consistent in the basics yet, it's not going to matter if we go into a deficit. And on top
Mhm.
of that, we can't fight against a steroid. A steroid's going to do what a steroid wants. So let's get all the basics first, and then we can assess that and see if we need to go into a deficit later on. But I'm
Yeah.
sure this is the same for Ali. Like, we always put like the health of the client first, rather than
Mhm.
like what they want in the immediate. Because hey, number one, they're gonna get better results. Well, I wouldn't say it's number one, it's like number two. But number one, like a healthy body is a body that will lose weight later on.
Yeah. And I
Always.
think it's our job to put your health first. And like I
Because
have
sometimes
had
we don't want to.
No, I know,
Like,
I know. And I've had clients kind of, be a little annoyed and I can sense it, but I always come back with I hear your goals and we are going to work on them. We are going to achieve them. I
mhm,
know we are going to do that,
mhm,
but I cannot just give you a protocol of
mhm,
like crazy low calories just to see weight loss because that is
mhm,
not like that's not who I am. That's
mhm,
not what I want for you. So I am going to make sure we are healthy. We are doing
mhm,
things smart. And you might be mad at
mhm,
me at times and you could
mhm,
totally lose weight faster another way. But that's not why you're
mhm,
here. And so sometimes
mhm,
we have to have those hard
mhm.
conversations. I mean, like have you had, how did your client respond when you were like, we're not gonna basically diet, like we need to work on the basics? Was it a positive response? Was it were they a little bit mad, upset? Because at the end of the day, I can understand the emotion, right? Like
Mhm,
if you were trying to lose weight and you have struggled like for a long time, like 10 plus years, you don't want another person probably telling you like you don't need to diet blah blah blah. So I think our
mhm,
our job is complex where it's like we're constantly having to like work with the emotions of the client but also helping them to understand what is going to be the best for their body.
mhm. This was like a while ago, so I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember. Like, it's probably like a year ago. I think oh, I remember. They were like, okay, I understand, and I think in part of that is just validating, like, I totally understand feeling bloated, like, and
Yeah.
feeling like I'm just like I can't control things. Cause hey, I was on prednisone and that shit effing sucks. Like,
Yeah.
it's a beast of a steroid. So I
How
know
long were
how
you on it?
I can't remember exactly, but you can only take up to 10 pills.
Right.
Like, you take it like every other day. Like, the one, I don't know if everyone's like that, but mine was. I think maybe
Okay.
once a week or every other day. I can't remember. And
Yeah.
I got up to 6, so I almost hit the
Oh
max.
wow.
And then they finally put me on Humira. Not that that was like, and now I'm trying
Right.
to get off, so it's not like that's the winner, but it was
Right.
better. But yeah, I got up to 6, so that was a lot.
Wow.
And if you
Wow.
take it wrong, you can die.
Oh God.
I
And
know, I
like
know.
that's also just like such a unique perspective that you were able to bring in with this client. Like I think our clients find us for a lot of different reasons, but like I kind of believe that like the universe like brings the people together that like can really understand each other.
Mhm.
And so you were able to come from a really understanding perspective. Like I have
Yeah,
totally been there. And
yeah.
do you think that helped like really bridge the gap for this client to like know that like she was going to see the results? It just wasn't going to be through like a calorie deficit today.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. You only know,
Yeah.
like, we aren't mind readers, so I don't know every thought that went through her head. But for me, when I hear someone like, "Hey, I went through this too, I understand." Like, I just try to validate people's
Yeah.
feelings because, like, when I'm having a bad body image day, the one thing I don't want is my husband being like, "You look fine, don't worry." Like, you know what I mean? Like, has he said that before? Maybe. Not throwing him under the bus. He's gotten better, gotten a lot better. But you don't want your feelings and worries to be invalidated. So I always
Right.
want to validate someone like, I understand. I I don't want you to feel this way, but it would be me, I would be doing a disservice to you as a client by just saying, "Sure, let's go into a diet phase," because
Yeah.
it's probably not going to do anything right
Not gonna
now
do anything.
other than make your body more inflamed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna have, like,
So,
the adverse effect. You're gonna see, like,
yeah.
probably the
Yeah.
scale go up, feel more like shit.
Right, right. And I want to clarify earlier I said how we always put our clients' health first when sometimes we don't want to. I meant when they don't want to
Yeah.
because like I've had times too working on like different diet phases and whatnot. Like I'm like, oh, let's just do it now. Like I don't care. And then my coach had to talk me off the ledge, like, no, we can't do that. We gotta
Yeah.
do this if we want to do it right. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you got a good point. So sometimes we have to, it's like that tug of war. Like, I know you
Mhm.
want to do this, but this is the right way. And this is putting your body first. And if we know anything, it's about when your body's healthy, it's more ready to make changes like in the scale and
Yeah.
measurements, all that good stuff.
100%. It's I don't have a great analogy here, but I guess it's kind of I don't know. Have you ever seen the pictures of, like, the different ways that, like, it's like a sheet of cookies, and, like, it's, like, 8 different pictures or whatever, and it's like, "This we used more butter, this we used more
Oh,
flour,"
yeah.
or whatever. And
Yeah.
so, like, you can reach your goals a plethora of ways. You can do like Weight Watchers, you can just do a crazy low calorie diet. You can all do things to get you to like a goal weight, quote unquote.
Hmm.
But when I'm looking at that cookie sheet, I'm looking for the cookie that like looks the best. Like it's like looks like nice and fluffy, but it also is going to have a little crunch on the edge. It's got the chocolate chips. I want whatever it took to get that. And it's usually maybe using better ingredients or
Hmm.
not mixing the dry and wet ingredients in the same bowl, like taking the extra time to mix all of your wet and then mix your dry and then slowly
Hmm.
combined and follow the directions to a T. It's
Hmm.
like I want my clients to have that experience when achieving their goals. I want them to have the
Hmm.
best possible outcome. And that
Hmm.
means putting in the work and doing
Hmm.
things slower and doing
Hmm.
things with intention. Like,
Hmm.
I have totally baked cookies and shit before by just like mixing everything into one bowl. And I'm like, why is this like fucking lumpy and like hard to mix? Right?
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
that experience for my clients. I want them to be able to be like, okay, this is smooth. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of progress. I know what the outcome is going to be. I might have a little bit of a bad day here and there, but like that's also why I have a coach so that I can turn to them
Yep.
and be like, yo, having a little bit of like a bad body image day. Can we talk about this? And
Mhm.
like, as coaches and like health professionals, like, yes, we still have bad body image days. Like, fucking, I wrote a post the other day. It was, I stepped on the scale and I'm in a reverse diet and my weight was like pretty elevated to a point where I was like not happy. And I was like, you know what? We're going to sit in this and it's okay. We are sitting in this and nothing bad has happened. You have not done
Mhm.
anything, you know, uh that goes against your goals. Like we had 2
Mhm.
refeed days. This totally is normal and it happens.
Mhm.
And as, a client and a coach, I look at my own experience from like a different lens. Like I can talk myself off the edge a little bit because like I know the science, but then I'm still a human and I'm like, I'm going to talk to my coach because I'm feeling some type of way. And we're not here to say like we never have those moments. We just know how to kind of help you better understand them because like we also experience them. And what happened a couple days later? The scale went back down where it always will go after a refeed day. And so like if you see the scale spike up, it's not the end of the world. If your,
Mhm.
measurements aren't changing, every single week, it's not the end of the world. It shouldn't be a reason why you stop
Hmm.
working on those habits.
I love that cookie analogy. I never thought of like that in regards to like health. That was
Just pulled it out right here. We are coming up with
oh
like our hygiene habits, our cookie analogies. Like this is happening.
yeah. What I have said probably here elsewhere is when we look at people's transformation photos and we're like,
Hmm.
damn, like that was 6 weeks, that was 8 weeks, that was 12 weeks, whatever.
Or we don't know.
Correct. We don't know sometimes. I always want to know, give me the after photo. Give me the
Mm,
photo 6 months after that and 1 year after that. And I can 99% guarantee that the people who have the quickest transformations in the most extreme in the small amount of time are not going to have better 6 month posts that transformation picture or a year. I bet you
hmm.
any money it's going to be worse. So
Yeah.
when you see someone, because there's people on Facebook, I need to like unfollow people on there because it's just like some of them are just like toxic AF. But it's like,
Yeah.
look at Kim's results using like and it's always like, you ever notice how like those stupid like literally dieting programs, it's like shake meal plan number 345. Like,
Oh
do you ever see
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Or
what is
like I feel like the verbiage is always so weird. Like they're trying
so
to be
weird?
like discreet, but it's also like they gotta like plug the product.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, if you see any of those, they're effing fake. Like, do you ever see me and Ali post shit like that? No, because like we don't have like some secret formula. Like, it's
Yeah.
just coaching. Sorry.
Yeah, like
But anyway,
it's literally just like coaching you and teaching you and helping you. If like I had like a little formula, like I would tell you. I don't. Like it doesn't exist. It's not
but I
real.
always laugh seeing those little like bottom things. And it's like formula 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, I'm like,
whatever.
bitch, what are you talking about? Like this is not like a fucking science experiment. Like this is your health. What
Literally.
is
But
happening?
anyway, anytime you see those, ask yourself,
Mm,
where is that person now? Because it's probably an old picture. Or you can just creep on that person and see. But like I guarantee you, 6 months from that photo, they're gonna be worse. A year from
hmm.
it, they're gonna be even worse for when they started because they went so hard in one direction of health to the extremes where it's unhealthy
Yeah.
and um they can't maintain that level of health. Now they're going to go in the opposite direction because they're tired, they're hungry, they're unmotivated, things are getting worse. They keep feeding that cycle and bam, they're off worse than when they started. So I
Yeah.
always think about, okay, where are they going to be in 6 months? Where are they in a year? And you probably won't see anything on them because they're no longer doing
There's
that
nothing.
program.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's so easy to get like the like shiny object. And you're like, oh my God, like they saw amazing results. Like I want that.
Hmm.
But again, like
Hmm.
pause and think, like, is this like this person's like saying they're drinking all these shakes? Like, one, do I want to
Hmm.
pay for that? Two,
Hmm.
how long can I keep that up? Three,
Hmm.
it's probably expensive as fuck and it doesn't even
Hmm.
do anything. Like,
Hmm.
and four, these programs oftentimes have zero strategy post diet. The biggest
Hmm.
concern is like diet, 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 diet. And
Hmm.
while a diet is going to, get you to losing weight if you are doing all the other things, right? You're doing all the things right and you're still not losing weight. You need to diet. Yes. But you also need a post-diet plan. Like you need
Hmm.
something to get you back to a place where you're not under eating. And so many programs don't focus on that. And so, of course, we understand why people, go extreme low calories, all these shakes, to then 6 months later, like probably gaining the weight back plus some because there was
Yep.
no plan. Their metabolism was fucked. So when they started getting off the shakes and eating like quote unquote real food, they just gained weight back. And then it's really
Yep.
discouraging for, someone that has worked hard the past 6 weeks doing extreme shit. And they're like, oh my goodness, why have I gained this weight back? I must be the problem. When
Hmm.
like the system is the problem. So keep your eye out. And if people like, oh my God, I know we're gonna wrap up here in a minute, but there are so many people on my Facebook timeline. Why do I go on Facebook? I don't know. It's like a cringe moment, but I kind of love
It
it.
is.
Um, you see people that like work for like Beachbody or Optavia or like different things, and they'll be like,
Ugh.
the program, my business, the program, my business. And they never
No.
actually like state like the things like this is Shelly and she's
Mm.
on the program.
Yeah.
What do you
What
oh,
fucking
okay.
program?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's so like weird and like low-key cryptic that like I'm like, what is actually happening here? And it's like a bunch of like random screenshots, and it'll be like, today is a good day to start a habit or something. Like just like really fucking weird. And I'm like, who falls for this? And if you
A
have,
lot of people.
peace and love. But like, I guess it's probably not like our age demographic as well. Like I'm not over here like posting like Googling and then posting like a screenshot with like the URL in it.
Yeah, there's people I follow that do that and like my client, like it's a picture of like the scale, you know.
Yeah,
And like which is fine. You can post that stuff, but it's just like it's just so gimmicky and it's just
it's
so
gimmicky.
frustrating.
I could probably find that picture on Google. Like I don't know. There's no way for me to like trust that this is working. Like keep
Yeah.
your eyes out, people, for the red flags, especially this time of year.
Yes. Before as we wrap it up, any last thoughts?
Keep your eyes out for the red flags. That's all I have to say
Okay.
because seriously, as we are in the first week of January, this is the time where you're probably feeling vulnerable. It's been a stressful 2 months with holidays that you might be more open to trying anything. And
Mhm.
if you are at this point and you're like, I might try anything, go back and listen to the episode because
Yeah.
we're talking a lot about just start with the basics: water, movement, sleep, stress management, veggies. Do that
Yeah.
and see how you
Yeah.
feel.
Probably loads better.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I have a goal planning form, 2024 goal
Oh,
planning.
yes.
I'm gonna link it below. It really makes you aware to what goals you had last year, maybe why you reached them, and importantly, what you were lacking to reach them. I've got some people that women that filled it out and they're like, damn, like that makes so much sense. So I'll link it below. I suggest you fill it out so you can make sure your planning for the year makes sense for your goals in your life. This is our first episode that we are going weekly. We didn't even announce that. We are
Yeah.
weekly now, weekly episodes for 2024.
Love
And
it.
then the last thing is like we said, we'll have Dr. Kelsey on later this month, so we're excited for that. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for listening or watching to Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us so we can reach more women just like you. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere where you can stream podcasts. If you have a burning question about life, friendships, health, and want our 2 cents, email us at kindahotpod@gmail.com. That's KINDAHOTPOD@gmail.com. This is the last week for the Lululemon gift card giveaway. Here's how you can enter: rate and review us on podcasts and Apple Podcasts. Yeah, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, screenshot your review or a subscription, post it to your stories, and make sure to tag us both. That's it. Bye.
Bye.